y'all may be well. Okay, I'm gonna look at. I'm gonna look at. Y'all may be wondering what I'm doing. Uh, my camera stand was loose, so yeah, I don't guys. Y'all plugged up when my camera thing is loose, so I need to tighten y'all up, and I just did. So I'm gonna see y'all in the video, and yes, I am tipsy. I'm trying to get drunk for the video because I want to get drunk for the video. And to me, who's editing, I know you're fucking talking for some fucking reason. I don't know why. But yes, I'm wasted. I was supposed to have work tonight, but I guess they didn't need me. So if y'all can please like the video, I guess, while I get this ready. I don't know if I should snap a clap to cut to the video. I guess I'm gonna snap. That I'm gonna tell. Oh yeah, enjoy the video. Yo. Shit. We have a new video today, and by the time you see this, I hope I have the second video up, which I already edited it, and I already got the video. Or I'm not gonna say already. I halfway edited, so it's like halfway done. So I hope y'all get that video. But I know for sure this video is gonna be going up. Matter of fact, I'm gonna see if I can do it right now because it's like 11. It's 11:13, and today I lost my glasses, so I can't see that well. I can't see stuff like far away. So I'm gonna just pull this closer. Not into okay, that's far as I can take it. But we'll go ahead and get into this video. And this video is, and I'm not advertising it. I'm not. Just go ahead and get that straight up. But I'm not going to advertise it. Hold up. Gotta get the nuts straight. But I'm not advertising it, but I will be drinking in this video because I have really nothing else to do right now, and I just want to relax right now. And we're going to be watching how the great shifts quote save anime by Veiny SMH or Shake My Head Crazy. But before we get into that video, I'm gonna go and yap for a little bit. The great anime shift. First of all, tell the truth, it did not save anime. It probably got it more, I won't say more popular. It's probably, I would say, gave it the standing that it needed, if that makes sense. Because before it got popular, there was that era of anime. I think I talked about that before, where you had all sorts of anime. You have every type of anime. Nowadays, it's just more shonen and more action. I would say you got some romance in there, some slice of life in there somewhere. I don't think I see too many mechas in there. I don't remember seeing many mechas in anime. But now it's more tribalism, I gotta say. Since it became popular in America, well, I would say more popular than it used to be, it's been more tribalism. Like, there was a time during 2020 through 2023, where it was just oversaturated with Naruto against One Piece, this anime versus this anime community. A lot of anime community was fighting. Like, they were really fighting. But now I think it's calmed down a little bit. Especially since there are other animes that came out since then. There's just so much that happened. Now I think about it, I've been watching anime since. Now we're talking about on TV. I've been watching anime since my Toonami days, where Bleach was on Toonami, One Piece was on Toonami, Naruto was on Toonami. That's also why I discovered Sword Art Online, Michigo and Hachin, Black Lagoon, Cowboy Bebop. Space Dandy, Samurai Shampoo. There's more. There's a whole bunch more. Kill la Kill, because I remember that was on Akame got killed. That was also on Toonami. There was just a whole bunch of animes, and the only difference I know about anime from then, is that anime has gotten more censored, if a coast thing. And I'm not gonna say LARP, because LARP is its own thing. I've been seeing everybody be saying LARP. I'm not gonna say LARP, because LARP is literally live action roleplay. What everybody should be calling is either dick riding or just bandwagoning. They have, I don't know when it started. I know when it started, but I don't know like how it caught fire with everybody. But somebody broke it to me. But somebody on TikTok told me that LARPing wasn't even LARPing. LARPing was literally the people who be in groups, or people who hold events like medieval events, and everybody pretend to be in medieval events. That was LARPing. I saw that as LARPing. Now they done transform a word into a whole. That now they done got a word, a whole different meaning now, or added another meaning to the word. So now it's two meanings to the word. One was the original. Now the other one is added in there. And I'm not gonna say everybody's bandwagoning, but it's sort of, since anime got popping on TikTok, the other anime fans has come out. Like, you are finding all the other anime fans and all the other anime fans. Like before, you couldn't find. I wouldn't say you couldn't find. It was hard to find all the other anime fans. Like me, I have a TikTok. I just remembered it recently. On one, I forgot which of my TikTok channels. I went back, go back a long time ago, back when I was waiting in the car for my people to get off the bus. I was sitting in the car and I was saying, I wish I would have known the people in my class would watch anime, because we could have talked about that all day. But because I do remember one time I did try to talk about anime, and two of my classmates, they were talking about Superman versus Goku. Now this is where I say, you know what? I'm not about to talk about anime no more. They were talking about Superman and Goku, and they were saying who was stronger. Me, I said, you do have Superman. He is strong, which I don't like I like overpowered characters. Depends on how you do them. But Superman is powerful, but Goku is also strong too, because he seems to go on the rule. Every time Goku has died, Goku has came back stronger. And I also think what did some damage to the anime community was, no offense, I really love King Lion, but that whole war path he went on with Goku, then Batman, that did a whole fuck ton of damage. And that also made me finalize my results is, everybody or the people who was on TikTok, they don't know. I'm not saying I'm on King Lion's side, but even though I fuck with King Lion, everybody can't take a loss. I don't understand. That's the whole thing of the zone. I'm sorry, but that's the whole point. Everybody, please learn how to take a fucking loss. But back to the point. The great anime show helped anime, but it also fucked them over in the back end, because I don't know how many videos I said it in, but once One Piece get popular, it's going to get commercialized. And that was one thing I was terrified when it came down to anime. And the other thing was, once it get popularized, people are going to go back and look at all the other animes. And me, I have no other problem with that. You got Heroic Age, you got Fairy Tail, You got Black Lagoon, like I said, Michiko and Hachin, Gurren Lagann, that too, Full Metal Alchemist. But there is a certain genre of anime that we can ignore but can't ignore. And that is harem. Harem anime was... Harem and ecchi anime was a thing back then. I'm not even going to lie, and I'm not even going to ignore it. It was there. Was it popular to a certain extent? Yes. But it was there. And I know when it comes down to that stuff in anime, that's the thing that people don't like. And I know they ain't gonna like it, but it was there. You can't do nothing about it. If you want to do something about it, you can try, but you can't ignore it. It's going to be there, and it will always be there. You can. The only thing you can do is you can go and try to erase it, but like I said, it's history. You can't ignore history. If you ignore one part, if you ignore one part of history, everybody else is gonna say, "Oh, and we can ignore that one part of history. We can ignore the other parts of history." You get what I'm saying? And I know it may seem like I'm trying to justify it, but I'm just saying. I feel like I'm just saying it how it is. There's one person, if one person says ignore that part of history, other people who feels a different way from you can also say, okay, since he or she can ignore that part of history, I can ignore this part of history. You see what I'm saying? But the great anime shift, I feel like it got popularized when I say One Piece. One Piece started when One Piece started blowing up. Of course, because I know before that you had Dragon Ball, you had Naruto, but once One Piece blew up here, it was over. It became commercialized. And once I seen that One Piece box, Popeye's box, I was like, yep. They've been had it, but they just got One Piece, just like that. Now, would it have another anime shift? I don't know, because that's going to be something like, I don't know where we're at when it comes down to anime and perspective of the people. But if we do have a great shift, it's going to be for the anime in general. Not like the people, the anime. Like, they're going to put, probably sooner or later, they're going to start putting restrictions on anime. Like, from, I would say, the 2010s, anime was very loose, and you could see fucking anything. Nowadays, if you want to see gore anime, and what I mean by gore anime, I mean anime where you have strong language, strong nudity. If you want to go to that part. I think the last anime that was gore or nudity was, I guess, not Rudolph Hiller. Cause I don't know what has came out recently that I can say it like that. Cause me, like I said earlier in the video, that was my history of anime. I've been watching ever since Toonami. Now we talking about websites. Ooh, Jesus Christ, that's a lot of anime. I don't think I can remember them all. I could probably put, if editing it, if you can go to my anime list, I can pull up some, not all, some of the animes I've watched over time, but not all. Like World End, that's another one. Go and watch that one. World End, where were you was when the world ended? That's a good anime. And that's also some animes you won't see now. What that I haven't seen now. Black Lagoon, you ain't getting another one of those. What else? Michigo and Hachin. I don't think he's gonna get another one of those. Who else? Heroic Age, maybe. Mecha animes, I don't know if I'm not gonna say it's dying out, but it's like they not picking that up. Mecha animes, they not picking much of those up. Romance animes, romance, shonen, and fantasy, those are the most ones you're gonna be seeing now. Like Frieren, that's a fantasy slice of life, if I think so, type of anime. Slice of life animes you'll probably see when I'm talking about not talking about like of all anime in general. I'm talking about like what's of the popular. I'm not gonna say not popular, mainstream. I guess mainstream style of anime. You're going to see that all that more. Not like I said, Heroic Age, Radiant. Radiant. I think Radiant came before the Great Anime Shift. And Radiant's a good anime. I remember I watched it. It reminded me kind of like Fairy Tail a little bit. And in Radiant, one thing I loved about Radiant, you never seen anything like that. Go watch Radiant. That's good too. Or matter of fact, put the bottle down. Let me see. Where's my anime list? There we go. God damn it. Oh yeah, back to what I said. I'm gonna re-yap y'all ear off with this. So I'm going to put this. If I time it right, I'm going to put that skip button back up in here. Radiant's a good anime. Oh my god, goddamn. What else came before the good anime shift? I'm gonna list off some names, and y'all probably not going to know it. And I'm going to review them by score. Heroic Age, that was going Michigo and Hachin. Tenchi Muya, yeah, that was a good one. Demon King Diamond, I watched that one. A lot of these animes, I'm not gonna lie, I watched when I was younger. Tokyo Ravens, that's a good one, but Familiars. You don't see that too much in animes anymore. Familiars like Zero Testament, I think it was. No, not Zero Testament. Ah shit, what the fuck was that one called? I'll probably remember. It was Zero something. Zero Testament. No, not Zero Testament. Zero Testament was that fucking brother sister bullshit. Tokyo Ravens, Blood, Blockade, Battlefront, another one, Assassination Classroom, Tales of the Zero the X, Servamp. I watched that one, was really good. Love Tyrant, funny. Fuka, I gotta rewatch that one. I remember that one was good. Plunderer was unique at first, but then it got good. And Plunderer and Tokyo Ravens, those are the only two animes that I've seen recently where the ending, and Tales of X, Zuria X, I think that was, or was Aruka of the Six Flags. Those are the only 4 or 3 animes that I've seen where the ending in where you wanted to see another season. Now, I'm gonna keep going. And the reason why I say I gotta give Radiant another chance is because Radiant was so fucking good with season 1, it left off in a cliffhanger. I just wish they would. Wish they would have extended the. Well, back then I'm saying back when the season 1 ended. I wish they would have in season 1. I mean, season 2 came back. I wish they would have extended the time when the main character. Spoiler. Fuck you. Spoiler. I wish they would have extended the time of the main character leaving his friends. Not as much of like Sasuke ditching by saying bye, leaving the leave, but it's like a good 3 episodes. Me, I feel like if you're going to do something like that where you have a main character split off from the crew or a disappearance, you give at least 3 episodes. 3 episodes max. Anything more than that, doing too much. Clip Near, that was good. I watched it with my brother. And I had that Pacific Anime moment where you come in, when somebody comes in the room and you just see that somebody coming at the wrong time. I've dealt with that. Misfit of the Demon King Academy, I watched season 1. I know they had more seasons. I'm not watching that shit. Rent a Girlfriend, not watching anything after season 2. The Dungeon of the Black Company, funny. Moonlight Fantasy, loved it. Watched season 1 and 2. The Duke of Death and His Maid, season 1. I watched it. Quintessential Quintuplets, watched all of it. Really good. The Kingdom of Ruin, good. I don't know if it needs a second season. I don't know what the fuck they keep going. And there are plenty more. Oh, just for the heck of it, Toma-chan is a girl. That was a good romance. I loved it. And one of my rules when it comes down to Butt Lad, also good. One of my rules, it comes down to romance anime. She got me for 2 seasons. 2 seasons. 2 seasons. If you're going to bring it to 3 seasons, give them a time skip. Because, and if you're going to drag it out for the kiss, 2 seasons. I'm going to say 2, 3, max 3 seasons in the movie. That's it. I feel like if you can't get a romance done within 2 seasons, it's probably not as good, because I know they're hoping a whole bunch of animes, romance animes, where they have dragged it out. The Kingdom Come, but I have Hell Jacket. God damn, this is 25. I'm gonna put y'all on 25 minutes. Fuck. Well, I'm just gonna get you on the video. And the video is 17 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this in now. Is my Bluetooth connected? Shit, nope. Let me see. Oh my god, cuz what the fuck is this? Okay, I'm finna. Oh my god, I gotta turn my fucking Bluetooth on. I'm gonna see y'all when I get back. Yep, sorry. I went to turn my speaker on, then went to the bathroom. Fuck it. Y'all see my laptop. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do. I tried to keep it out the frame for as long as I could. Fuck it. But we're just gonna. Oh yeah, the great anime shift. And I think this bitch gonna be loud as fuck.
It was weird. You don't? Okay, well, what about this? Maybe you remember that one kid Naruto running in your gym class. Maybe that other kid trying to go Super Saiyan screaming at the top of his lungs. Or maybe even that one person shouting Bonkai as loud as it.
Hey, you know what? I gotta show y'all something. Motherfucker got a sword now. I think this would be a sword. A one-handed sword. Got a sword now. What should I name the sword? The sword is a part of the The sword is a part of the Madness family now. What should I name it? I feel like someone with a G. Gaishu. Ginshi. Everybody, this is Ginshi. Ginshi is now a part of the Madness family. We'll be having more. If we can get 10 likes, let's see if we can get another one. And as of now, Ginshi is now the first member of the Madness family. No, the first member. Everybody welcome Ginshi. This is Ginshi. Now let me put Ginshi back in the goddamn fucking. I wanna call him Ginshi Josh Ginshi. Cause the dude gave me was the nicest dude in the world. The dude, I was drunk one night and I'm gonna keep telling this fucking story because I'm gonna keep telling how cool of a dude was. I met this dude one night. I was drunk going to the store trying to buy another bottle, and I saw this dude with a dagger. I think it's a called a dagger, and he was just standing there. I was looking at it. And I was like, "Is that a fucking anime sword?" Because I promise you, in my head, I was like, "Is that fucking Meliodas? Another version of Meliodas' sword?" And I asked him, "Hey, is that an anime sword?" He said, "No, it's a steam." I think he said steampunk. I'm like, "Oh, cool." So we got so I went. So he paid for my bottle, which is the bottle I have right now. But the problem was he would not take the fucking money after he bought my bottle. So I finally convinced him to take at least the change I had left over. And oh shit. And we got to talking outside. And I say one day I wanted to get a sword. And he pulled this bitch out of his truck. He had a longer one in the fucking truck. Me, I kind of wanted the wrong one in the truck, but I'm not even gonna complain. But he pulled this bitch out and said, "You can have this one." He said he cut himself, but I can see how. But he gave me this bitch, even though I wanted him to take the fucking money, he wouldn't take the fucking money. But Ginshi, but he gave me this blade, and now he's part of the Madness family. I adopted him. Now this tape, I don't know if this is the actual tape or he just taped it on. It looks like kind of both. But I'm gonna figure out a way I can polish this bitch up so I can fix it. But excuse me. But this right here is how I came a hold of Genshin. I forgot whose blade this remind me of. It feels like Meliodas, but I feel like it's another anime I'm thinking of. And Genshin, we'll see y'all in the next video. Yeah, back to the regular video.
Ichigo. These things were all considered weird, childish, and corny. So why is anime today so
before
deeply ingrained in pop
2020?
culture? Wait, we're still doing this bit? No, put the puppy down. We're done. Let's move on to the real video, okay?
Yeah.
Did the medium simply just get better over time? Or have people started to realize that it may not have been as bad as they once thought? The real question we need to ask ourselves is, why aren't you a loser if you watch anime anymore? Let's be real for a second. During this time, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. Celebrities like Oscar Award...
Before you get into that shit, which I already know he'll mention Michael B. Jordan. The people who were calling people anime weird, that's the thing. And the one thing I gotta say about that conversation I saw at the time in 2020 through 2022 is the fact that people was like, we didn't call you weird because you watched anime. We called you weird because you didn't take a bath. Which, hey, if you didn't take a bath and you watched anime, you should take a fucking bath. Which me, I'm not even gonna lie. During that time when I was in high school, I wasn't taking baths like that. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I was probably one of them. I really was. But I'm like, but why you targeted anime? Why you target that towards anime? It's because we was watching it 24/7. Which me, I'm like, but didn't people watch? They still do it now. Watching love shows 24/7. I don't know. It's just that was crazy, and I'm like, but why specifically anime?
Michael B. Jordan and UFC Hall of Famer Max Holloway weren't always proudly parading around their love for the medium. Michael B. Jordan in an interview stated that he actually cried because of the ending to the My Hero Academia anime, and Max Holloway walked out to Pain's theme song for his title fight against Ilia Topuria at UFC 308. So many popular figures nowadays from numerous different walks of life express their love for anime proudly and to the media and everyone else. But back when anime was only first being introduced to the West, you wouldn't see a single soul professing their love for the medium. To put it very simply, people thought anime was weird and cringe, with the only consensus being that it was for little children. I mean, thinking about it this way, who would want to be associated with someone who liked watching...
And that was another thing. How did it... When you watch shit like fucking Dragon Ball, how was that anime for fucking kids? That made me think, like, how did you see that as for kids?
Grown men screamed to change their hair color. But now it is the very large 2026. And
that also showed how simple-minded some people are.
You're just missing out. Something like this doesn't just happen in a single day. It is a slow and meticulous buildup that takes place over a large period of time.
Oh yeah.
This period of time.
The anime shifts, if I would put it in time frames, anime shifts were, if I go from the 2000s, from my perspective, from 2000, 2005, it shifted to a higher gear. 2000, 2010, I wouldn't say it shifted, but there was a hesitation. Then it shifted around 2012. And 2012 to 2016, it shifted again. Then 2016 to 2020, it shifted. But 2020 to 2023, just a fucking boom period. It just boomed. I think it's because of COVID and how it had everybody inside, and since everybody inside, it was like at the point in time, it was like, you know what? Let me give it a try. And everybody watched a specific anime, or everybody found an anime they had liked. Which, shit, let me think. What anime could have helped during the booming period? One Piece, Naruto, Dragon Ball, Jujutsu Kaisen, if I remember right. Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, which I was there for when Demon Slayer was dropping, and I'm gonna say the best episode of Jujutsu Kaisen. Oh yes, I'm going to say this anime was the great anime shift. Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan was the anime shift.
No answer, but the only one that could have came close was literally Demon Slayer. And especially when those two animes was going head to head. Y'all remember that? I forgot. I know I was there. I was watching on, I think, I'm going to say the site name. Because the site ain't up anymore. It was dubanime.net. And I was watching on dubanime.net. And Demon Slayer and Attack on Titan was happening on the same day. I think it was a Sunday. It was a Sunday or Saturday. I think it was. And I'm just saying Sunday for right now. On that Sunday, it was that episode where Aaron finally was going to start the rumbling, and it just ended off on his face of him about to start the rumbling. And then you had Demon Slayer where Tengen versus the Upper Moon, the brother and sister, where their battle ended off on that explosion that destroyed the whole Pleasure District, the Red Light District, the Red Light District arc. And still to this day, I did finish Demon Slayer. I'm not say finish. I didn't watch it. I stopped watching Demon Slayer after. When that other season, I think that was season 3 happened, when we went to Snake Hashira, I think it was. That's why I stopped it. But after the Red Light District arc, to me that was the best. That was the best arc out of Demon Slayer because of how it led up. It started so calmly, then it boomed out of nowhere. Then Nezuko came out and that bitch was fire. It felt like the end. It felt like the end of an anime. It just felt like it. It felt like it was the end. I don't know why, but it just felt like it. Did anybody else get that feeling watching? I think that season, the Pleasure District arc of a Red Light District arc of Demon Slayer on the anime side, that felt like me. Like it legit did. It had the explosion. It had the great fight scene. It had everybody putting their lives on the line. Like I said, they had the big explosion. It had the most amazing animation. And then it was going head to head with Attack on Titan. You couldn't ask for nothing else. That felt like it was the end. And then they had the next episode, or I think it was another episode. Then you had the part where the Hashira saying, "I'm retiring, I'm done." That's it. That's a perfect ending. Amazing 2 seasons. If it ended after that, one of the greatest animes of all time. And I'm gonna go ahead and say this now. There will be only big 3: Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach. The only animes that can come close or compare to those 3 are Hunter x Hunter and not Soul Eater and the little and Fairy Tail. The only 2 I will even see: Hunter x Hunter and Fairy Tail. Oh yeah, and like I said earlier on Toonami, Soul Eater. But y'all already know I got Soul Eater. I got the moon. I got the sun. And I got the moon. I also got the Bray Wyatt shit on my arms, which nowadays I'm not gonna say regret getting these, but it's more. I wish I got them like this. I kind of got them in the wrong height. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got them in the wrong height. And I got this one right here, but the thing is, I regret doing these. I don't regret doing these. I should have did it fucking bigger. Like I should have did like right here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Back to the video. I just want to get that off my chest.
Which I will be referring to as the Great Shift. What is the Great Shift, you may ask? Well, that question can actually be very easily answered through a simple timeline, one of which has 3 stops. The first one is in the early 2000s, where we're going to start. Essentially, anime is the Japanese version of what we know as an American cartoon, except it's based on something called manga. Manga are unique works of writing and visuals mixed together to evoke both the visual and mental aspect of consuming something. So yes, the natural comparison in terms of a Western
want to try
product would
something,
be traditional
and I'll be right
comics.
back.
While this might be common knowledge right now, back in the early 2000s, it was absolutely not. Manga and anime are foreign products not originally meant for consumption here in the States. Obviously, this is the same for traditional comics and cartoons, but over time, their markets expanded and branched out into different parts of the world. Unfortunately for anime and manga in the West, this was not the immediate case. Undeniably, franchises like Dragon Ball and Naruto are now huge among Western audiences. I mean, I could probably show anyone a picture of Goku and get a knowledgeable answer regarding who the dude is. You see, Dragon Ball has a very funny relationship regarding its presence and accessibility here in America. And right here is where our timeline actually begins, marking the very first start of the Great Shift, 1996. This was Dragon Ball Z's first time airing in America. Dragon Ball Z's start in America was very interesting. Its first 2 years, the series was produced in syndication by a company formerly known as Saban Entertainment. Yeah, I know, syndication. Some kind of crazy word that we don't know. We've never heard it before. But in simple terms, without overcomplicating things, the process of syndication is to license whatever content you have control of to multiple different parties. I'll throw up the actual definition on screen.
I've heard this recently, I don't know if it's true or not. But they said Frieza is not much quote unquote racist as he is in the comics. Because I believe somebody said that Frieza doesn't say monkeys in the manga as he did before. It was just the Americans that did it, which me, I would not be surprised. As soon as it hits this land, that shit is automatically some type of racist. But we're gonna get back to the video.
Now, with our patent pending Vandy estimates Triple D, otherwise known as the Definition Demonstration Device. Wow, that is cool. Yeah. You see the little profile pic spit in there?
Okay, syndication is the practice of leasing or selling content, loans, or investments to multiple parties at the same time, most commonly seen in broadcast syndication or for TV. Financial, quote, loan syndication, unquote, and real estate policy.
This may be the last ad you
fucking
ever see.
course!
Because of the free ad block extension from Capital One Shopping, you can save.
Oh yeah, that's sick. Basically, Dragon Ball Z was all over the place from 1996 to 1998. But in 1998, Dragon Ball Z first aired on a little television program called Cartoon Network. Now, Saban Entertainment,
I did not know
a fat chance you knew what that was. I mean, I didn't know what it was at first either. Dragon Ball Z specifically aired on Cartoon Network's Toonami programming block, and it exploded in popularity from there. This push was done to mainly achieve one goal.
Which, speaking of Toonami, I'm gonna keep pausing this because we talk about anime. During my anime beginnings on Toonami, I remember, if I remember right, I think it did some of I think the Frieza arc where Goku versus Frieza. The Naruto war. I remember watching the war on Toonami. That's where I first saw the war on the Fourth World Ninja War on Toonami for Naruto. One Piece, it was there, but it came at a later time, around the morning time, like for around 1, I think, 1 to 2. It came at 1 or 1:30. Bleach was around 10:30 to 11. Cause I know Bleach was right after Sword Art Online on Toonami, if I remember right. Cause I watched it on 33. If y'all had it on 33. Cowboy Bebop was before Soul Eater. Cowboy Bebop was one of the first out of the whole schedule. Probably was the first. Then came. I think Michiko and Hachin, then Black Lagoon. I was watching the more beginning of Toonami, like when it started around 8. No, it started at 9. I think at 9, but I'm gonna just say 8. It started around 8. It ended at 2 o'clock in the morning, and it was on Saturday, so I had to go to church the next day. So it started around 8 p.m. all the way to 2 a.m. in it. I would think, okay, if I were to say it started off with Cowboy Bebop or Cowboy Dandy, Space Dandy, then it ended with One Piece or Naruto. But once I started getting into it, I started finding sites, and then I went from watching all that on anime on Toonami, then I went to sites. That's about it.
Cemented Dragon Ball as an anime mainstay within American
I hope he
pop
shows
culture.
the
And
anime
to some
schedule.
extent, it did actually work. Dragon Ball was by far the biggest anime, name value-wise, and overall recognition-wise in America during its time on Toonami. Other shows like the original Pokemon anime and Sailor Moon were huge too, with Sailor Moon premiering in America as
I don't think I seen Sailor Moon, but Pokemon was the morning shows. Pokemon, Digimon, Bakugan, Blade, Monsuno. I'm going to a different channel now, but Slugterra, Total Drama Island, I think. But those shows I just mentioned, the first 5 shows was much more of morning shows.
early as 1995, before eventually also being moved to Cartoon Network's Toonami block in 1998. But this still wasn't exactly enough. While Dragon Ball's success on Toonami, and as a result, all other anime running on Toonami during that 1998 to 2008 period during the Dragon Ball era did pretty well, they still weren't the household names they're considered to be today, especially in America. These series were staples in Japan, with Dragon Ball, of course, helming the operation. But all of its success in Japan, and now America, was ultimately not enough to convince people that anime wasn't just for losers. There was still a stigma surrounding it, and obviously there was just a large majority of individuals compared to today who simply just had no idea shows like Dragon Ball or One Piece existed. Now, I'm not telling you that you need to specifically watch Dragon Ball or anime in general. That would be pushing the agenda upon you. But the real issue was that there was a formation based on this idea that this media was so cringe and just out there from outside perspectives. There weren't enough people actually engaging with the stories to combat this notion. People watching anime during the early 2000s and 2010s were mostly considered socially awkward and nerd-like. This could of course be for many different reasons. But one of the most glaring differences I noticed was simply how these shows are constructed. If you've seen any anime, you probably know what I'm going with here. Characters can instantly go from having the time of their life to going through an existential crisis with almost like the flip of a switch. There can be very heavy monologuing, external and internal, and a good example of this is actually Dragon Ball Z. Depending on what's actually going on, the pacing can either feel very slow or extremely quick. And overall, the actual visuals of the anime can be very, very weird sometimes if you're not accustomed to that beforehand. These are very heavy differences in comparison to America.
And during the great anime shit 2020, we got those motherfuckers. We got those motherfuckers who was coming in thinking anime was gonna be kiddie friendly, hunky dory. Which I'm glad those motherfuckers came in and didn't realize, oh, this shit is not fucking kid friendly. I'm glad those motherfuckers came in, but the bad thing about those motherfuckers is they gonna try to fucking censor the shit out of it. And if they somehow do, anime is gonna lose a lot of purpose, because anime is basically from an outside of America's perspective. Like, if y'all know it, y'all go look a lot of animes. The church is a lot of the world's problems. I remember I realized this while I was watching when the first season of Shield Hero was coming out. Yeah, the first season of Shield Hero was coming out, and now for me was battling the church. And he had his whole rage arc, his whole rage moment. And that's when I realized, hey, when it comes like to Japan and all that, a lot of them, especially people who make the manga, they say the church is the fucking problem. Which nowadays it's starting to, I don't know when it start going popping up where they said, hey, we gotta go look at the church. I don't know when that gonna start popping up. That's gonna probably pop up sooner or later.
In media, because these elements and tropes are customary to how the Japanese approach their storytelling. But because it was so different, people simply couldn't see it as anything but weird and abnormal. To view something like this and find enjoyment in it was considered as foreign as the product.
Anything
so even
weird,
with the boom
people
in popularity during the late 90s
until
and
they
early
understand.
2000s, anime was
Just
still
like
regarded
magic.
as the thing all the weird kids were into. The narrative that anime was only for little children was probably the biggest narrative surrounding the entire medium at the
fucking
time.
right.
Even shows like One Piece and Dragon Ball featured heavy censorship very early on during their initial runtime in the States. I'm sure most
Especially
people
Neji. If y'all knew what Neji's fucking shit was.
4 Kids dub. I mean, look at this guy Sanji, bro. Dude's got a lollipop in this thing. Sanji's reason for smoking so much in the original work is quite integral to his character. He smokes to suppress his appetite, a response to his underlying trauma surrounding his time spent on that little rock in the middle of the ocean with Zeph, his father figure. He never wants to feel that level of hunger that he did on the island again, so he constantly smokes to prevent that from happening. So you see how such a little detail can create so much character significance and depth? In the 4 Kids dub, this is completely lost with that dinky little lollipop. In fact, sucking on a lollipop would probably make you even hungrier due to the mass influx of sugar spiking your insulin. So this replacement is not only weird, just considering the whole pirate vibe, I mean, like, where the hell did he even get a lollipop in the first place? But also, because it goes against an important part of the very core of Sanji's character. Sacrifices like these were made for censorship because anime is not traditionally made for extremely young audiences. The most popular anime features violence and real consequences for actions, such as death and emotional trauma. But because these things were momentarily stripped from the original vision so early on, people believed anime was only for small children and nothing more. But isn't anime today actually known for being quite gruesome at times, with pretty deep character arcs and stories? Yeah, you know what, it actually is. That's a good point. But how did we actually get there?
I don't see it. Thank you!
Overthink less. Chew good. Orbit gum.
This commercial just make me want to beat his ass. Fuck you.
Now, why is 2014 so important? Well, as we've already established,
so I was like
anime
2
wasn't
years
taken
old.
seriously, like at all. The consensus was that it was corny and for children. But a large shift in that ideal actually came after a series called Attack on Titan released. But almost like every other massive series you know about today,
And I remember that first episode of Attack on Titan came out on Toonami. First night, I was staying up. It was a Saturday. And if I remember right, it was after Bleach went off. No. Because I remember I came around during, I think it's a Ron card, not a Ron card. It was during, I was watching Bleach heavy during near the ending. Because I remember on Toonami, Bleach, the ending of the first season of Bleach. Excuse me. Ichigo was standing on top of the ridge. But back to the point. I was watching Attack on Titan. Then I remember the Titan just rising up the wall. Then a memory, it kind of cuts out during that moment. Then my memory coming back, and I remember Aaron's mom being eaten, and I'm like, oh shit. This is some we getting deeper into this shit. I can't. It was a Saturday night. I know it was because that's the night it would ready come on. It would come on Saturdays and I think sometimes Sunday nights. But I remember that was the first night. That was the first episode of Attack on Titan on Toonami. Well, on Toonami that I remember. And that was a night I think I remember I fell in love, deep in love with anime. And the rest of that was history. I remember that episode like it was clear. Almost the whole episode was clear as day. And I remember I watched every season on Toonami, then the websites. I watched every season. I don't know if I remember if it had ended. That's how I thought it was, but I remember when I seen the trailer come out, I was like, what the fuck? What you mean Attack on Titan Season 3 Part 1, if I remember right? Then somebody told me like, oh, they took a break. I was like, why the animation? Remember they said, oh yeah, they took a break. I'm like, at that point in time, I didn't know what the fuck a break mean. I didn't know what the fuck a break mean when they said, oh, they took a break. Like they did whatever they was doing, then they came back. I just want to say that.
Once the anime adaptation came out, AOT skyrocketed in popularity everywhere, not just in Japan, and especially in the West. If you've seen AOT, you probably have a pretty good idea about where I'm going to go with this next point, but if you haven't, let me explain. So what we know so far is, people during this time thought anime was cringe, but for a series like Attack on Titan, calling it a show for children would actually just be a massive mistake if you've seen it, folks. It's very dark and actually pretty off-putting at times. A very short synopsis for those who haven't seen it is, the world of Attack on Titan is divided into large cities protected by giant walls. Humanity hides behind these walls because of these giant flesh-looking, human-eating humanoid creatures. They're also otherwise known as Titans. Our main protagonist, Eren, wants to exterminate
My
all the
battery
Titans,
just started
and
hit
we follow
10%,
him for the whole
so I
series
pray
as he tries to
that
achieve
we
this
stay-
goal.
y'all
Just
stay for the
looking
whole
at the coloring
video.
of the world and the high detail featured on the Titans to make them look as grotesque as possible.
I'm trying to pause that
probably
little,
be enough to
little
convince
as I
you
can.
He ain't on Namek no more, bro. But the reasons why this specific series pulled people in runs so much deeper than just the look. Attack on Titan features some of the most compelling and interesting character narratives in fiction, probably period. To really understand everything that's going on, you gotta throw that thinking cap on and thoroughly engage with the plot and reason for why these characters are engaging with it in the way that they are. Unlike other anime, where things can
I
be
wanna
pretty
talk over this
straightforward,
bunch of part,
Attack
but
on
fuck
Titan
it.
keeps the viewer on its toes without
I gotta go 5 years without watching the anime
Everything
again.
genuinely works and fits together, and that's why people became so infatuated with the narrative and its characters. It pushed against that narrative that anime was just for itty-bitty toddlers and proved that these stories have more dynamic and complex themes to them. I also like to believe that AOT spawned the hyper-thematic anime analysis genre of video, where people dissect the true meanings behind why the original mangaka who wrote these stories wrote them the way that they did. Each character has a deeper and more complex theme, and if thoroughly
I feel like
paid
that's
attention
what anime
to,
also
it
got
can make
fucked
the
up
entire
at.
rest of the story
When everybody
that much
started
more
digging in
impactful
deeper.
on the viewer. Also, this show has obvious sauce. I mean, it was originally animated by Wit Studio and then Mappa, and the animation and fight
I wish they
scenes are
kept
just
that
so
Wit.
breathtaking and unique. The ODM gear as a concept was so cool because it was something to be mastered and something to become accustomed to. These are humans using this weaponry, using it to fight a seemingly unwinnable fight against monstrous creatures, and it gets you really pumped seeing how they leverage the indomitable human spirit to fight back against insurmountable odds. The combination of dark and impactful themes, dynamic animation and world building, insane twists, narrative direction, and insane character arcs created a world where more people than ever were engaging with anime in the West. It did really change the perception most of the other stories had, but it still didn't manage to break into the true mainstream. Yes, Attack on Titan managed to mostly wash away that cringe and for children narrative, but it wasn't enough on its own to really catapult anime into the homes of nearly everyone. Series like My Hero Academia and Black Clover did a great job of riding off of Attack on Titan's success. While these shows weren't nearly as serious as Attack on Titan, because there was less of a stigma surrounding anime, they managed to create fan bases in America and the West through their unique stories. I think what these earlier anime did so well was get you to root for the main protagonist through all the carnage and brutal circumstances they had to push through.
Love Roblox.
For fuck's sake, YouTube.
Gift card.
I miss back when you used to be free, no ass, no shit up the ass.
It's inspirational and pretty motivating. So after AOT kind of broke into that mainstream Western culture and had more people who would previously not watch anime tuning in, those ideals actually became more recognizable and subsequently less cringy. AOT's success can also be attributed to the style of media that was popular back in 2014.
Oh,
The
yeah.
trope of an apocalypse.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm about to switch mic. Well, I'm not about to have on the more mic. I'm about to switch y'all out. Be right back. Fuck it. I say I'm gonna switch y'all out. I did. So if it sounds different, that's my fault. Welcome back. Shit.
With the divided humanity had really taken over the mainstream. I mean, think of movies like The Hunger Games and Divergent. Similar stories based on their novels, which had people hooked. Because AOT featured a very similar vibe to these stories, people were more inclined to listen in and watch because of the vibe that the show presented. So with the trends in media at the time, AOT fit right in and managed to capture a part of that same audience. However, Attack on Titan wasn't the only important factor during 2014 and onward. As anime and media in general began to become more popular, so did the desire to talk about them. The usage of social media began to skyrocket, and YouTube in particular saw one of its most lucrative years up until that point. This meant that more people than ever were on the platform, and as a result, anime's image profited from this rise in user user interaction. There were three sides of the anime content rollout during 2014 to 2019. The first type was from channels like Swag Kage. Swag at first made videos discussing Dragon Ball with the goal of getting more people to understand different aspects of the series. Then he moved to what I'm sure you know him for, his Naruto content. He was a big part in the rise of power scaling videos alongside deeper analysis regarding a given show. The videos range from explaining what a certain jutsu actually did to his favorite fights in Naruto. All things people who enjoyed anime could just sit down and listen to. The second type of rollout came from channels like RDC World. Everyone knows these guys for their skits, but their anime skits in particular helped paint anime in a funny light, without the butt of the joke just being those who watch anime in the first place. This was coupled with videos trying to get people into anime. They would recommend shows that they enjoyed and thought were good starting points for newer people in the medium. And of course, the third and final piece was unironically anime music videos. I don't really think I need to explain this one. I mean, have you seen a crazy good anime music video?
My favorite one, I think it was Monster by Skillet of Attack on Titan. I think that was my favorite one.
Those Naruto ones, if you haven't, go watch one right now, and then you'll understand what I mean by this point.
Yes.
Finally, the timeline catches up to the present, 2019. And in 2019 is where things really started to hit the mainstream. Just before 2020, a series called Demon Slayer premiered in April. But what made this series so special? It was the animation. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Not to say that Demon Slayer lacks a story and compelling narratives, but those things clearly haven't been known to bring in the more casual audience. Demon Slayer has become the peak of the anime industry when it comes to visual quality. Color grading, fluidity in the movement of the characters, the choreography, I mean, it's all...
And remember, like I said earlier, that competition they had.
Friendly. The story is extremely easy to follow, and most of the time, the visuals are so stunning that the narrative tends to take a back seat. Demon Slayer offered something counter to what AOT did. A casual-friendly entry into the world of anime. While AOT was very influential, it was because it presented a side of anime that pushed back against the childish narrative. But to fully enjoy Attack on Titan, you do low-key need to focus on the narrative to a higher degree than most other anime. Demon Slayer offered the darker tone that Attack on Titan did, with the demons and the setting of the world, but also a more casual-friendly narrative that kind of allows you to just zone out and simply appreciate what's happening on screen. So then let me ask you, what happens when you combine a show with beautiful animation, stunning action, and one of the most influential world events in history? Let me paint you a picture. It's the beginning of 2020, and COVID has spread everywhere, and everyone is banished indoors, isolated from everyone else. With all of humanity's newfound free time and no access to outside activities, naturally, we gravitated towards the internet and digital media. There was nothing else to do, so digital media of all kinds experienced massive booms in popularity. And of course, anime was one of them. When you're trapped inside of a house with literally nothing to do and nowhere to go, what harm could come of you if you try new things, right? So naturally, anime, alongside everything else, began to blow up. But what led the charge? Two things. Number one, Jujutsu Kaisen, and number two, social media, but specifically TikTok. Riding the coattails of Demon Slayer's mainstream success, JJK premiered at the end of 2020 and absolutely blew up. JJK presented a grittier narrative similar to Attack on Titan and how it presents its world and the stakes attached to that world. While it shares similarities to its predecessors like Bleach and Naruto, JJK mainly worked so well because it wasn't scared to make radical choices concerning its characters. But ultimately, the series is really cool and it has really cool fight scenes. And that is the main reason why it blew up the way it did. The series explodes, naturally, with everyone being indoors, but also because of TikTok. Yeah, I know. TikTok played a huge part in JJK's success and anime's overall success into the mainstream. Social media is the reason most things gain massive traction nowadays. But during the pandemic, it was the main reason that made stuff popular. With everyone on their devices, the main point of conversation during certain periods of time was the most popular thing in the world. Anime just so happened to be one of those talking points. Again, with nothing to do and virtually nothing to lose by engaging with new stuff, people watched anime and probably just abandoned that preconceived notion that it just wasn't any good. Social media was a very large reason for this. It influences people. So when you see a cool video that makes your arm hair stand up, you want to see what's up with the show that video was based on. I mean, I'm sure you've seen some insane anime edits by now, even if you don't watch anime. Anime editors are some of the most talented video editors you'll come across, and they can be given lots of credit for popularizing the medium in the eyes of the larger population. All of the social media hype, JJK's mainstream appeal, and the power of TikTok combined to form an amalgamation of anime-based hype. And now, if you aren't watching anime, you're simply missing out.
Thank you. I'm a fucking... Fuck this nigga video. We're gonna fucking like it.
You gonna fucking like this nigga. You gonna give it 3 likes. No, 5. 5 likes and then subscribe. I don't know. I got my things other videos. Nah, I'm gonna just keep it at that. I don't know what the fuck that is. I gotta talk y'all here. How long was that thing? God damn, it's been an hour. But that was everything I wanted to say about the great animation. I've been wanting to get that off my chest, not just not seeing this video. I'll find every chance to. I really love that video because I know this video is gonna be long as fuck when I fucking edit this. I post this because this video is going to be posted. Now the audio on the back end, I don't know. I hope it's good. I pray it's good. But I really enjoyed the video. It made me remember of everything I watched and everything I fell in love with anime. And I should have another anime video coming up. Let me see. So I feel like this is going to be an anime channel. Yeah, this is going to be an anime. Oh, shit. I forgot Honcho. We're going to do a Honcho video next. Honcho, where are you, Honcho, there you are, you motherfucker. Here you are. Meet me in my bedroom. It's like 2:21 in the morning. Oh my God, 2 ads. But go subscribe to this channel. I really love that video. It reminded me of the anime. I loved it. And to me, editing this, I hope you have fun editing this video. Until then, see y'all next video. I pray one day when I'm editing these videos, as soon as I'm done, I edit them, then I can start posting. I can do videos day after day. And I hope y'all like the video. Anything other than that? Hey, me who's editing, anything to say? I don't know what the fuck he said. Y'all probably know what he said because it's probably later. But I'll see y'all later. Bye.